Hello, welcome to the Play Ratings. Today we'll be discussing the Arsenal 1 Palace nil game at the Emirates. Uh, Appreciate all your support once again. Please hit like, subscribe, comment. We'll check back with you. We appreciate all your support and let's get started. Louis, you're at the game. Another loss for you at the Emirates. Talk to me.
0 for 9. I'm never gonna see it.
Stop going. That's my only suggestion. Stop going.
I can't help it.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Well, you with D, right?
Yeah, it's with D and Michael, who's comments a lot on the channel.
Okay.
He's an avid watcher. Yeah, man.
Appreciate that.
It was like I said. I always say, losses don't really mean as much to me anymore.
I hear you.
Like, I'm upset. Well, not really that upset, if you know what I mean.
Let's jump in. Palace, unusual 3-4-2-1. Uh, Commander Wharton back in the center midfield. And Richards back at the right center back with Campbell out from the Lanka game. And obviously, a very, very, very solid and good Arsenal side in this signature 4-3-3. The right number 10 gave us a problem. That Eze person. We'll get to him in a minute, but jump out of this. Dean Henderson, 6.5 for me, 6 for you. I'll go quickly. Nothing to do. He had a Trossard weak shot to save that LaCroix set him up for. That aside, poor kicking, 4 for 15 on long kicks, 8 of 20 short kicks. Had one shot to try and save Eze's. No chance he's going to save that. So I gave him 6.5. But your thoughts on Henderson?
Yeah, he didn't really have much to do, to be fair. I think there was one unbelievable save in the second half, but I'll be honest, the view from the away end ain't great. It's quite low. You can't really see the angles and where how close stuff really is from the other end. So it looked like it was a great save, or it was just like a big scramble in the box. But you
It was
probably saw
decent.
it better than I did.
To be fair, it was decent save. I shouldn't take that credit. It was a good save, but he didn't have much to do. Like I said, the one chance, one I like to save was the Eze one. He's never saving that one. So,
Yeah,
um, jumped into it already. Ty Mitchell, 7 for me, 7.5 from you. I thought he was great, but your thoughts on Ty against Saka?
probably kept the best winger in the league completely quiet. I thought he gave us probably one of the best attacking outlets. His confidence just seems to grow even more every game. Again, he's playing against also as a wing back. He's playing against probably the best right back and the best right winger in the league, and nothing came down his side. Didn't wasn't really helped by Pino. Obviously, he's got Mark behind him, who's a class always. But yeah, happy with Mitchell. Not really. I think our whole defense was really good.
Yeah, defensively we were very sharp. His passing a little bit off, 18 out of 27, 1 out of 5 of long balls. Would like him to get more involved going forward. He tried to hook up with Pino. There's one ball he put in, then left cross that was blocked. But for the most part, that's the part that was lacking. But again, you mentioned it. To shut down one of the best wingers in the league in Saka, you see he had 3 tackles, 6 recoveries, 3 passes in the final third, only 4 interceptions. But it's a tough day for him. But he did a great job on Saka. I'll give him credit for that. Other side, Danny Munoz, 6 for me, 7 from you. I'll go first. I thought Munoz did his best. 2 crosses. Unfortunately, we'll get to later on. The tens aren't working as well as they've been in the past. So they're causing an issue for us. Obviously, lack of production. So obviously Munoz versus Trossard, who normally scores against Palace, did nothing yesterday really. 21 out of 29 passing, 46 touches, 2 tackles, 1 block, 1 clearance. Unfortunately, crosses were poor, 0 for 2. Couldn't really, again, him and Sarr just didn't link up. But your thoughts on Danny Munoz?
Yeah, I thought yesterday was like a game of good openings, and just Arsenal are so good defensively that it's like that 1 extra second, 2 extra seconds that you might get against another team, you don't get against Arsenal. You saw it with Sarr when he got into great positions. Rice twice came and took it off of
Came
him.
over, yeah.
Again, Munoz and Sarr in the first half got into great openings. One half a second too long, not getting your head up, not having that instinct. It's just gonna peter out into a corner or a throw in. So what looked like really bright openings ended up not really coming of anything. Hence the one measly shot on target, which I find wasn't even a shot on target for me.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed away from most of it, but we were putting comments in the chat. People crashing out on losing to Arsenal 1-0 just don't get it. Arsenal's just beat Atletico Madrid 4-0. They are the best team in the league right now. We'll win the league. Hopefully they don't personally, but they've let in 3 goals all season. For us not to score a goal against them is not exactly reason to crash out. And we'll get to people commenting about Saw and Pino in a bit, but I mean, it's Arsenal. We gotta have perspective. Someone mentioned in one of our chats that one of the time we played, well, actually, the manager mentioned it. We lost 5-0 to them a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
5-0. And that game was non-competitive. Yes, it was very competitive, but again, I've missed Richards here. I've got to put him up here. So let's start with Gahey. 7.5 from me, 8 from you. I thought he was very good yesterday, helping out with Saka on that side. A little bit on with Jokeres, who again was really locked up more by LaCroix. I thought he was very, very good. 47 out of 58 passing, 81%. 2 shots. One was a header. He maybe could have scored from. I think it was a corner kick by Wharton. 7 clearances, 2 recoveries, 9 passing into the final third. Actually, let me put that thing back up here with the stats for Mark. So you see here, top passer, top number of touches. But your thoughts on Mark when I sorted out the Richards part?
By the way, he's always in those top performers. He's always got the most touches and he's always got the most successful passes. And underrated in the sense of he's probably one of our most important build-up players, and the sense of that he's the one who creates that deep cross when it's a cutback from Mitchell and he's pushed up higher. One thing that Arsenal done really well is they completely nullified our switch of play. Calafiori's positioning every time we tried to make that
Yeah,
switch
great point.
was nullified. Was nullified. Munoz ended up having to kind of run in and try and duel with a header, which just against Arsenal, it's never really going to work because they're so good defensively, so organised. I thought like their positioning just completely nullified us. They was always in the right, but our patterns of play, like I always say, is a good team can successfully implement their patterns of play regularly,
Yeah.
and we were able to do it against Bournemouth. But then you come up against Arsenal as a whole different level defensively. So again, maybe we need to maybe find out a different way of playing, slightly, not change the formation or anything, but like a different pattern of play. But yeah, it was always going to be a struggle going 1-0 down. I think it would have been we would have had much more of a chance. I know you're saying it, much more of a chance if it's 0-0, but the fact that Arsenal would have had to come on to us even more, which would have maybe
Opened
opened up
up
a
a little
little
bit.
bit more
Yeah.
transitional moments. But
Yep.
as soon as they went 1-0 up, they're like,
That's their
yeah,
game.
that's it. It's game
Yeah,
done.
they're good. They're doing that against us, City, Liverpool, all the Bournemouth. They're doing everybody. They're going to say once they get that one goal, good luck trying to score against them. Good luck. I mean, it
Yeah.
might happen, but it's going to take a great effort. I got him now. So Chris Richards, 7.5 from both of us. You want to go first, and Chris? Well, I thought I had a very good game, by the way. Solid.
Extremely good game, absolutely dominant in the air, put his head on and everything. Maybe lacked a little bit of quality on the ball, but that would just be nitpicking. Yeah, I thought like I said, the whole defense was really good.
Yeah, I agree. Passing wise, 33 out of 39, 85%. 55 touches, 2 out of 5 on long balls, not his strong suit. Try to get more in
Yeah,
the
it's
final
not bad.
third. Got 3 of those into there. But defensively, that's where he shone. 7 clearances, 5 of those headed, 2 interceptions, 1 recovery, 2 out of 3 area duels, 1 committed 1 foul. So he was very solid. Again, helped out on both sides when he had to, as far as uh if there were any switches to be made. But I thought he was very solid. So, but the best of the back 3, man of the match for both of us, is Maxence LaCroix up against Jokeres, who people said had a good game. Heard the ball okay. Don't think he was that good. I thought he wasn't that good because of how good LaCroix played. I thought he was really, really good. The only negative to me was that shot that he took at the end, but passing 36 out of 39, 92%, but 22 defensive contributions, 66 touches. Listen to these uh, numbers defensively: 2 tackles, 1 last man tackle, which is brilliant, 6 headed clearances, 3 interceptions, 17 clearances, 17. Phenomenal. I mean, pocketed Jokeres again. People talk about how he played well on the Arsenal side. I don't know what they're talking about because he was totally pocketed by LaCroix, who I thought
Yeah.
was really, really good. But your thoughts on LaCroix?
I genuinely think LaCroix stylistically is the worst player for like to come up against LaCroix
He's
because
all over
one,
the
you're not
place. Yeah, body
one,
and
you're nowhere near as quick as him.
yeah.
Two, you rely on physicality and running in behind. So the defender's stronger than you and quicker than you. All your attributes are nullified. You can't say he had a bad game. He didn't have a good game because nothing happened. You was not part of the game. You maybe done unselfish running, but that's about it. But at not one point was I scared of Jokeres.
Let me just add, sorry, to add because of that. We talk about the 17. Jokic lost 10 duels in the match.
There
Lost
you
10
go.
duels to Lacroix. So
Yeah,
there you go, right there. So yeah, and what he had, sorry, he had a one shot on goal.
yeah,
You can't do any better as far as pocketing a so-called top striker. New to the league, I'll get it, but a top striker,
yeah.
and then there. So
Well, he's not new to England though.
he played for Coventry, right? Championship, right?
And Brighton and
And Brighton,
Swansea.
yeah, yeah, good point. So, next, Adam Wharton, 7 from me, 6.5 from you. Not his best game. Your thoughts on one with Tuchel watching him, by the way, so maybe there's a little pressure for there. But your thoughts on?
Probably gets a 7.5 for me if he doesn't switch off for the Eze
Yeah,
goal.
as they go.
Although it can bounce anywhere, it's just that little lapse of concentration. That's what happens. You get punished. It's an absolutely brilliant finish. Scissor kick into the bottom corner, but they also nullified us by not letting Wharton get on the ball as much. They knew that he was. If something's going to happen, it's going to normally come through Wharton. So it was a tough day for him against Rice, Supermendy. But I wouldn't say like the Arsenal midfield came on top of us. I just feel like it was a absolute terrorist game of football, really. Two completely physical sides, tactically very good. That was decided on a set piece. So it's not much to break down because not even either team had any chances. If we're being real,
Yeah, yeah, you're right. There was. I mean, even as a goal was not a great chance. He really did well to get his body to
yeah,
contort his body to make that
it's probably
shot.
the only way he could have finished that.
Exactly. I thought Wharton actually started the game pretty well. He had a good link up play early in like the 5th minute with JP, but Pino put in a poor cross.
Yeah,
He had a nice move. He switched ball to Munoz. Munoz put a bad ball into Saar.
by the way, he done that pass without even looking,
Eh,
and he just spread it onto the. That was after Pino nearly lost the ball, and he just went whoosh, one touch.
exactly. Yeah. Made a great tackle on Eze edge of the box. And when Eze driving for the
Yeah,
ball on the 90th minute, and he had a great tackle on California. So defensively was very good. Again, it's just that one moment that we switched off, which is a shame. He had that,
that's what
also had a good cross to Mitchell. They had a weak header on. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said. That's what happens at the top level.
Exactly. Stat wise, play 89 minutes, 27 out of 37 passing, 73%. Again, I talked about he had 48 touches, 4 out of 7 long balls, 3 tackles, 3 clearances, 2 recovery, 3 out of 5 ground duels won. Against that one moment, you could say the same thing about the not the Rice moment, sorry, the Bowen moment against West Ham when he scored the corner. It happens,
Yeah,
but you can't switch off. Players like that, Bowen, Eze, you switch off on them, they're going to punish you, and we got punished yesterday, so it is what it is. Daichi Kamada, 6.5 from me, 6.5 from you. I had commented it in the when I put my initial ratings out. I
no,
think I
you
had like
messaged
a
me, and
five.
I messaged you back, didn't I?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you
I
messaged
thought it
me.
was very. I just thought it was quiet. I didn't think he had a poor game, right? Because I thought you mentioned before about the midfield. I thought Zubamendi was very quiet, and I think that comes down to Wharton. In this case, down to Kamara. Because when I looked back on a few things, it was definitely him who was like following more Zubamendi, and I think Wharton's more on Rice. But I just thought he was just quiet. I don't think he had a bad game, but the issue obviously is, like I said, we're going to go to it in a minute with the tens. Is that when the tens are quiet, Wharton or Kamada have to come up with something that you have to
Yeah,
conjure for J. Like for JP, to me, didn't have a bad game at all, but he just didn't have
yeah,
any chances to
yeah,
convert. In Kamada's case, 23 out of 37, 23 out of 27, sorry, 85% passing, 7 recoveries, 3 clearances. He passed in the final third again. I thought he was very good defensively, but he had to be more defensive. But he just wasn't able to get on that front foot to create anything for us. But what do you think
yeah.
about Kamada?
I think there was a passage of play that kind of summed up our day and how the game was going, but completely our day where we finally got near the edge of their box.
I got it with,
And,
with Morton, mixed up with Morton, right?
Kamada wanted to slide it through to Mitchell, half a second waited. There was
Right.
another opportunity waited again.
Yeah.
Then he played the ball to Wharton, who didn't
Right.
really want it
I got
there.
that written down.
Then it
Yeah.
bounced straight back, and then it's look. There was these moments where
Yeah.
you have to
You
be
gotta be quicker
decisive
against a team like Arsenal. Yeah, you gotta be quicker.
against a team like Arsenal. You have to be assured in your attacking, and it's like I feel like teams are going there, and their defense, because they're so good defensively. It's like you end up trying to be perfect or overthinking it slightly. When if we were playing in our natural flow at home, like against Bournemouth, no one was second guessing. We were creating chance after chance after
Half the
chance.
chance up. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that kind of summed up our day. But again, I thought the midfield two done really well against that midfield three. Rice had to come off injured. Eze didn't. Eze, apart from his goal, I thought was very poor.
I
Apart from
agree.
his
He's giving
goal,
the ball to us a lot of time, passing the ball to us.
yeah.
So yeah.
And Zuma for me was anonymous, and it's a 2 against a 3. So again, I'm not here to fault any of the players. They done as much as they could, but when it was time to show that quality in the final third, or make the right decision, or be brave in an attacking sense, we lacked.
Fair. We'll get to the tens now. So major talking point. We'll go with Sar first. Both game of 4. Your thoughts on Sar?
Yeah, this is Sar's weakness. It showed up against LaCroix as well. I think he might be tired. He played 290 minutes for Senegal. He's come back. He's played against Bournemouth, which was a high intensity game. Then he's asked to play against LaCroix as well. Poor in that game. And today, I think maybe it was just a game too far for him. Maybe he would have suited coming on the last 30 minutes when the game was a bit more stretched. I think when you play against Arsenal, you have to be completely technically sound. Any loose touches will be pounced upon. And that's what happened to him. Even when he got in good positions, it was the wrong decision. But it's just one of those days. And with Sarr, I think you're going to, not so much a purple patch player, but you might get 3-4 really good games, then 1 or 2 anonymous games, a bad game here, a better game here, because he's such a powerful player, and the way he plays is like, if he was on top of his game every week, he'd be at Champions League team. But you can see the faults in his game as to why he's at this level, or why he hasn't like taken that step further. But yeah, I think he probably needs a rest.
Yeah, you mentioned being tidy with the ball. Passing wise, 11 out of 23, 48% passing. I haven't seen him be that sloppy in a
Yeah,
while. And you're right.
yeah,
There were a couple of times when, like, he made a great interception, 22nd minute of a Zubimendi pass, drove the ball forward, took a shot that was blocked by Gabriel, like a half chance. He had a good run and a ball to Nketiah that led to a corner. But just weren't enough moments where he was on the ball enough. I mean, his crossing was poor. He was 0 for 1. Long balls poor, 0 for 2. Dispossessed 3 times. A very uncharacteristic floppy game for Son. I saw people making comments about he's been poor. I mean, what are you watching? Been poor the last couple of games, but the middle of, I mean, the Villa
yeah,
game, etc. He was doing just fine. Again, we're relying on him to create, but it doesn't come down to one player. It comes down to more than one. I mean, people are talking about how JP been missing chances, but again, he's been in a position. I don't know. Again, I think you're right about maybe he needs a rest. Maybe we should try and get Essay in there. I don't know. Maybe rotate the goal a little bit more.
yeah.
Maybe have him play 45, come off, whatever it takes. But yeah, it was a great game. And then the next player, Pino, well, game of 4. Again, just not on the ball enough for me. Just I'm more than willing to give him a. I actually put in the chat that it's 9 games. He hasn't played 9 games. He wasn't even here for the first couple of games. He's probably played
Mm.
6 or 7 games in the Premier League. He hasn't played that much. I don't have a problem with his stature. Someone made a comment about his stature. What I need him to do is get on the ball more and be the player that he can be, because you saw it against Villa. That run that he made against Villa when he's almost looking for that goal. You know he has it in him. It's not about stature and size or ability. He has it. He just hadn't adjusted to the game. And I know people are talking about the comment that Glasner made where he came in at the last minute window after Glasner gave him a little dig at the ownership again. I get it, but it's just he needs a transition period, same way Kamada did. So yesterday, 9 out of 17 positive, 53%, 1 chance created, 24 touches, 0 out of 3 long balls, not good enough. Dispossessed 3 times, 1 tackle, 3 recoveries, 2 out of 8 ground duels won. He's losing a lot of duels, a lot, which I'll be honest with you, surprised me, because I thought he did a great job at Villarreal in winning duels. One of his strong suits, winning duels, pressing, turning the ball over, hype the pitch, and creating chances. So, but I'm gonna give him a there are people, so many people giving up on this guy already. I'm not willing to do that. It was not a good game for him against Arsenal, but it is what it is. But your thoughts on Pino?
Yeah, I spoke about it previously about the petulant fouls that he was giving away. against
Oh, of
Ghana
course,
trying
the
to
foul led to the goal. I forgot to mention that, but you can go ahead with that. Obviously, go
yeah.
ahead.
But like it's literally a rush of blood and frustration. Like he's what's it called? He's prone to getting a yellow card as well because he loses the ball and gets frustrated. And what I think where he came in and looked really sharp is because he obviously he's come in, he's fit, but I would say the relentlessness of the Premier League might be catching up with him. Like the first
Yeah,
two games, you're fresh,
and you're
whatnot, but now it's like, oh, I've got to play Everton away, then I got to go there, then I got to go there.
got yeah,
And like Glasner said, you need to adapt your game. The ball needs to move quicker. You can't take 3 touches. Your
yeah,
first touch has to be so good that you can play on your second touch. He's taking 1, 2, 3. He's getting caught a little bit, and he needs to maybe change the way he's um, going into these duels. Just maybe stand up because you don't. A lot of the time, you don't have to dive in. You just have to be in the right position to send. Like, obviously, you're in a the way we're set up. As long as you're affecting it and shutting off passing lanes, that's just as effective than if you're going to start giving away fouls. But again, it's going to take time. I'm not writing them off, but it was a poor performance. I Biggest thing for me, we'll get to Glasner, but we haven't had a week's training.
yeah.
Palace
And
look
won't
at
have
their
for a
best
while.
when
Won't have.
Glasner has 1 week training. That's when he's at his best.
Yeah, yeah. JP and Mateta, both games 6.5. Yeah, you go first on JP.
By the way, this striker plays better against better defenders. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's wild. He's very good against very two of the best defenders in the world, basically. So, what are your thoughts on how he played?
Yeah, I thought he could only do so much, but yeah, good huff and puff.
Yeah, I thought hold up play was very good. Link up play was good. Was pinning the defenders. Had 2 out of 2 successful dribbles. The most in the game was by him. 10 out of 14 passes. Unfortunately, did not. He had one shot. Didn't create any chances. 24 touches. Um, 3 recoveries. 2 out of 5 ground duels. One. He worked his socks off. Gabriel Sleeper are going to be the toughest pair he's ever going to face, and I thought he worked them. And well, the only thing is, unfortunately, unlike Bournemouth, he just didn't have any, never had an opportunity. It was the one shot he had. I don't remember it. It wasn't like it was a great chance. People complain about his missing opportunities. Yesterday was not a time. Didn't have really a chance to miss anything. So go on to the subs. Nketiah both gave us 6. I thought he came on, gave us a bit of life, little spark with a good sub for Pino, but there wasn't much that came out. I think he's obviously with playing his old team, he's going to press to try and do more. But your thoughts on how you think Eddie plays? If you want to add anything?
Yeah, no. Eddie, good huff and puff, but like I said, it's hard to affect the game, and he sometimes he tries too hard when he comes on against Arsenal. I don't know
Yeah,
why he thought he could start doing step overs against Timber.
that was wild. Timber is such a good right back, and I saw that too. I had to laugh at the time. Like just play it simple, give and go. And we went to space. I don't know why you're trying to do that, but yeah. Husey 6 for me, 5.5 from you. Didn't think he did anything good or bad, but again, came on tough time in the game, didn't affect it much. You saw about huff and puff. I think Husey pretty much did the same thing. But anything that you want to add for that?
No,
I think of a
all
moment
good.
that he even had. Came off for 74th minute. Passing wasn't great. 8 out of 14, 15 touches. Didn't commit a foul, so no yellow card. That's a positive.
Yeah,
We'll go through the subs quick. Lerma, nothing of note. Sosa, nothing of note. Uche, nothing of note. What I will say is that we'll get to him now. I thought the subs at that time was a bit weird. I
yeah.
don't know why you bring him on so late in the
We'll
game,
talk
but
about it, guys. Now.
exactly. So Glasner, both game of 7. I'll go first if you don't mind. I thought my notes were the three changes: Wharton, Kamada, Richards back in, fine. What I expected. JP starting again. I expected that. SA not on the bench. A little bit surprised at that. Seb of the match. We didn't have a high press interesting in the beginning. I thought I was fine. We kept it kind of compact. Obviously want to keep it tight. And Ketchev subbed on. I thought that helped with Pino because Pino wasn't playing well. My only issue, honestly, was the late 3 subs. I don't know why you put on Uche Lerma and Sosa at 90 plus. You're going to give Mitchell, Munoz, and Wharton like a 5-minute break. I bring him on at 75 when he brought on Hughes. I don't bring him on at all. I didn't quite understand why so late. That's my only issue. Maybe he thought that prior to that Eddie could come up with some bit of magic, or maybe Mateta could, because he did it when he came on the sub last time, Mateta against Arsenal. But those late subs were the only thing. But I thought, again, to keep it tight against Arsenal and hoping to get a, maybe get a draw or maybe snatch a win is the best you can do. They're a very good team. I'm not going to kill him for strategy because, again, Arsenal just very tough. But your thoughts before we wrap up on the Glasgow, what you think?
Yeah, it was a tough game. I think he might have to be a bit flexible and try and integrate these players. That's what I'm saying. But what can I say? I've got my full trust in him. So we'll move on to Liverpool and Brentford.
Yeah, real quick. Again, I understand people talking about rotation. I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll do that during one of maybe Liverpool preview, but I'm not sure if rotation is going to solve our issues, but we'll see. But anyway, that's it for the Arsenal play ratings. Quicker? Well, we gave you something. Feel free to comment. Again, we've got a big match coming up. Is it big? Got a match coming up this midweek against Liverpool. I don't know how big it is. I'm not even bothered by that game anymore, by the way. I was bothered before. But that's it for the play ratings. We appreciate all your support. And until next time, up the Palace.